This is Biker Pros. We're at the San Mateo Ultimate Builder Custom Bike Show, and we have Jovan Samonte and Bob K with us. Let's talk a little about Jovan's bike. Bob, what do you see here?
Well, Jovan, I know you've done a lot to this bike. It's obviously not just a stock bike. In fact, as the way I understand it, the only thing you left stock on it is the frame. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did with the braking and the suspension, because those are probably the two biggest things in terms of handling.
Okay. Now, as far as braking goes, I'm running the Brembo HP billet calipers on the front. In addition to that, I'm running the Brembo 320mm rotors, full floating rotors. In addition to that, I'm running Galfer custom superbike lines. In conjunction with that, I'm running a Brembo RCS master cylinder. So it gives me two options of running a 19x18 or a 19x20.
Well, let's talk a little bit about why you chose Brembo controls too. I mean, everybody's pretty much aware.
I want to see this.
Everybody's pretty much aware of, you know, running the Brembo brakes and the calipers and all that, and what you're going to get out in Galfer lines, so you got pure sensitivity. But is there other reasons why you've gone with the Brembo controls too?
It's more of the reason why I went with Brembo, because Brembo has that reputation. They've been around for such a long time. Not only do they do super bikes, but they do NASCAR, from automobiles to motocross to super bikes. They got it all covered. So, in my opinion, it's just more of the fact that everyone uses Brembo, and that's just my...
Well, let's talk a little bit about the control you have with using Brembo. Control versus sensitivity. Do you find that you have a better feel with Brembo?
Well, if I was going to compare it to the stock setup I had when I first bought the bike, with the new Brembo setup I have now, the bike stops at a dime. Just a little tap on one finger, the thing will just stop at a dime.
Yeah, so you have the ultimate control. And that's
ultimate control, exactly. Yes, sir.
So, what else have you done in terms of, I noticed just body-wise a little bit, we have some 3M protective, and talk a little bit about the paint scheme you got going on here.
Okay, Yamaha selected me for my bike to be at MotoGP Laguna Seca this year. This was back in July. I wanted something to be different, and apparently I came out with the 50th anniversary scheme because they only debuted it in Austin, which was, I believe, in May or June, and the second time they were going to debut it was in Laguna Seca, and these are just for the MotoGP rider.
Right.
So I figured, I'll be the only first person to come out with it. So I talked to my painter. He did it out in 3 weeks. At the same time, I got the whole red and white scheme, but at the same time, I got my own touches to it as far as sponsors go, and decals.
All right, I know, very, very attractive bike. Really, you can see the classic racing lines. You've done a really nice job there. What about engine mods and performance modifications?
Now, as far as engine mods, I'm running a 06 Graves R1 LE super stock motor. This one actually came directly from Chuck Graves himself. Internals are, basically YEC heads, gaskets, valve springs. I'm running a power commander, an ignition module instead of YEC ECU. And now, as far as I just recently dynoed it, and it dynoed at about 185 to the rear wheel with 86 pounds of torque.
So what are we looking at for a top end on this bike?
Top end, you're looking at about 192.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Quite impressive. So you're debuting this at the Ultimate Builder Bike Show in San Mateo. We really appreciate you coming out here. This is just the type of bikes we're looking for in our performance custom class. We're really glad you're here, and maybe we hope to see you in Long Beach too.
Definitely. Thank you, Bob, for your time.
Thank you.